Hello everyone, welcome to this brand new season of The Take, Season 2, Episode 5 of The Take. Glad you can join us. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix. As you can see, use that hashtag The Take to join in the conversation. You don't want to miss a thing here on The Take, where we're the hottest trending news cycle source in the world, here on Facebook, here on YouTube. You can catch us all on all our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, you name it. We're there. We're on the forefront, head and shoulders above the rest. Thank you all for watching. All right, let's get to the big story. The big story this week is, man, oh man. Now, we talked about this situation before. Well, let's get started, because this had to be two big stories. I mean, big story number one is the sentencing of Mr. William Cosby. Bill Cosby, as we know, America's favorite TV dad, has been sentenced for 2 years after he was drugging and raping, women that was colleagues, women that he knew as acquaintances and stuff like that, and everything just settling on in and tumbling down for Mr. Cosby. As Bill Cosby learned his fate, you won't believe how it went down. Take a look.
He's going to prison for 3 to 10 years. Bill Cosby was led out of court in handcuffs. He appeared to walk unsteadily to an unmarked police vehicle and had to be helped into the back seat. Minutes later, he was seen entering the county jail to begin his sentence. And this is his just-released mugshot. His eyes cast down, he looks dejected and defeated. Here's Les Trent.
It was truly a remarkable moment in court. Bill Cosby, the man once known as America's dad, sentenced to 3 to 10 years in a state lockup here in Pennsylvania. Before sentencing him, the judge says, "The day has come, the time has come." He also said, "I can't treat him differently because of who he is or who he was." Cosby showed no emotion. He did not react. He rubbed his face a little bit. I looked around the courtroom. All of the accusers were sitting in a row in the back of the court. And here's one of the accusers right here, Janice Dickinson. 3 to 10 years. Can you tell me what your thoughts are?
I cannot believe the justice system has served us victory.
Dickinson and Cosby accuser Andrea Constance celebrated openly after the verdict, embracing each other in an expression of joy and relief. There were more joyous scenes among accusers outside court despite driving rain.
We're glad the Judgment Day has finally come for Mr. Cosby.
I wanted 30 years, but I'm very happy to know that Mr. Cosby will do time in prison, that he is touchable like he touched us, unwillingly. This is
Okay.
all right.
Good. Thank
We've
you.
got justice.
This is just going to show victims that they can make it through and that there's justice at the end. And hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Prosecutors say Cosby was living a double life.
For decades, the defendant has been able to hide his true self and hide his crimes using his fame and fortune. He's hidden behind a character created, Dr. Cliff Huxtable.
But Cosby's spokesman, Andrew Wyatt, expressed anger.
This has been the most racist and sexist trial in the history of the United States. Dr. Cosby has been one of the greatest civil rights leaders in the United States for over the last 50 years.
81-year-old Cosby was smiling as he entered court today, even sharing a joke with a spectator. But the smile disappeared as the judge rejected home confinement and officially designated Cosby a sexually violent predator for the rest of his life.
Bill Cosby learned his fate. You can see right here Bill Cosby being turned in with handcuffs, getting into the courtroom. Man, who once was America's favorite dad, that you thought you never would do wrong and instance would be so innocent, and just turned out to be the most slime ball of us all. And Bill Cosby is going down. His legacy is damaged and went down, and now he's just known for going to jail and becoming Mr. Bill Cosby. Mr. Pop. Yes, Bill Cosby. We'll talk later about Bill Cosby later. But can you believe this? Man, Steve Harvey. Now everyone knows Steve Harvey was on the rise and stuff like that. But now we learned something that Steve Harvey could get his show canned. Well, it's been official now. He's been canceled by NBC. Well, he will not be renewed for his 7th season on the Steve show. He had his previous show, but he decided to partner up with a different production company, and they didn't do so well. Steve Harvey thought he can do it on his own, and it turned out not to be the case. Now, it's been something that's been funny and circulating around about Steve Harvey and this comedian, this anonymous comedian that just took it to another level. Take a look.
I don't take joy in someone's misery like I used to at all, not even Steve Harvey's. But I had to talk about this. To quote Wade Barrett, "I'm afraid I got some bad news for you, Steve Harvey. Steve, the TV show, is being dropped, and many are suggesting that the radio talk show might soon be over for good." Yesterday, The Hollywood Reporter announced that the Steve Harvey show is being replaced in the top 10 media markets. In other words, the radio show may be in trouble as well. I reported Dallas-Fort Worth is replacing it with Claudia Jones and a radio show. The show was on shaky ground to begin with. It got lukewarm responses during the first season. For the second season, he got a reprieve under its distributor, NBC Universal Domestic Television. The show made a lot of changes to save itself. For example, Steve shifted his show from a conflict-driven talk show to a lighter touch show featuring more celebrity guests, comedy bits, and audience games. He also made the decision to take control of the production of the show in partnership with IMG, an affiliate. So all I got to say is, I called it months ago, Steve Harvey. I said your blood will be shed. I said your blood will be shed for sucking up to Paula Deen. Your blood will be shed for I don't give a damn about slavery. That is your quote, not mine. Your blood will be shed for visiting Donald Trump, basically shining the shoes, and then saying that President Obama asked you to go visit President Trump, which you know that's a lie. Your blood will be shed for those people in Flint, Michigan that you told enjoy your tall glass of brown water. Your blood will be shed for all the employees you screwed over back in Chicago, both on the radio and TV show, including your longtime host, which you didn't even give the opportunity to apply for a job in Los Angeles. You left them high and dry for any other sins that you have committed for the last 10, 15, 20 years. Bernie Mac is probably somewhere looking down from comedy heaven, looking down at you, Steve Harvey, and shaking his head like, boy, I told you so. Your blood is being shed for all your sins, Steve Harvey. No one can save you now. No one. Sure, you'll still have money. Hopefully you've invested it well. Because, you're going to need every bit of it to live out the rest of your life if things keep going the way it's going.
You will have bloodshed, Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey. This is like somebody that's addicted and just want to see Steve Harvey not succeed at all and just want to see him all. But this all this fallout comes from Steve Harvey allegedly being into numerous lawsuits, numerous cases of sexual misconduct and lewd acts. So now we see that Steve Harvey being replaced by country singer Kelly Clarkson, who did a pilot show and she got green lighted, and now Kelly Clarkson is going to make her round into TV talk. Now we've seen that before with a lot of singers, like let's use for example Harry Connick Jr. for instance. He was doing so well, and then when he got to the second season, the ratings just started slipping. They want somebody that's different, innovative, and unique. That's me. So hey, call me out. But Kelly Clarkson get the nod to replace Steve Harvey and be the lead-in for Ellen during her time on her show when it's come on. But Steve Harvey, that ain't in there. As Steve Harvey being some reports are saying Steve Harvey is going to be replaced on his morning show. His morning show on the Verge being canceled with model / TV personality and former Real House Atlanta housewife Claudia Jordan. So Claudia knows a little bit of thing. You better watch out, Ricky Smiley, because Claudia Jordan is coming for you too. If she can take Steve Harvey out with her extremely beautiful, talented self, you in trouble, Miss Bernice Jenkins. Oh Lord. But there was some reps saying on according to BET.com denying that Steve Harvey not being canceled, but it's out there that Steve Harvey's getting canceled. So it's sort of like being a dead horse, BET, and Steve Harvey trying to hold on to every last breath he got. Can we play that one more time by Bloodshed Editor?
It's being shade. Oh, you'll see in Steve Harvey.
And it just boggles my mind sometimes. But let's hear what you viewers thought of Steve Harvey being canned from NBC.
So when I found this out, I said, what? I got to come on here and let the people know these things. And I'm getting this from Radar Online. It says shocking news, canceled Kelly Clarkson talk show to replace Steve Harvey's talk show. Now we know that his radio show was just canceled. What was it, like 2 weeks ago? And now Claudia Jordan is replacing his show, you know? And now today, we found out that his talk show has been canceled. And this is what Radar Online says. It says RadarOnline.com has learned that Clarkson's upcoming daytime talk show will replace Steve Harvey's Steve on NBC beginning in 2019. The Hollywood Reporter was the first to break the news. Yes, we know that, Radar Online. You're the first to break it. The I Don't Think About You singer shot to fame in 2002 after winning the first season of American Idol. Steve Harvey, and she actually has a court date coming up tomorrow, I think. Yep, tomorrow's the 20th. She's supposed to have a court date because of this gag order notice that Steve Harvey sent to Essie Berry to keep her quiet because he doesn't want her discussing certain things. And Geneva's Closet was also named in that gag order notice because it's not a real gag order because she's never been to court. But isn't this shocking? Oh my goodness, Steve, what are you gonna do? You better get yourself together. Marjorie gonna leave. Marjorie gonna leave. She ain't gonna tolerate all of that.
Because now I don't feel bad that they tried to cancel my show. I didn't get mine. So why should I feel happy that his got canceled?
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel bad, but I ain't happy about it. But I ain't watch the show no way, so I could care less.
Me either.
He talked shit about them drinking dirty water. He tried to make a joke out of it, but people who are drinking lead filled water due to no fault of their own, that shit isn't funny. When you have the kids that's being affected medically by this lead-filled water, and to this day, Flint doesn't have clean drinking water, that's nothing funny. So he was all in the blogs for that. So he's had the past couple of years, it has been one horrible thing after the other when it comes to Steve Harvey. I've heard all of the little gossipy rumors about him backstabbing Bernie Mac.
Right now, NBC now realizes they have made all the money they're going to make off Steve Harvey, and because they see Steve Harvey as a property and not a person, they see that the property has no more value, So what they're going to do is release the property so that they can go invest in another property. And they believe that Kelly Clarkson would be a higher investment to them.
These folks are just angry and has a vendetta against Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is just like any other man, just trying to make his living, and he done so well. Hey, he can retire and sit down, relax, and take a few cigars with him and just be done with it. Man, y'all folks lay off Steve Harvey, but hey, y'all like, hey, you better not be, you better hope it's not you. No, I'm clean. I'm clean as a whistle. Believe me, I'm clean as a whistle. You won't see me going around acting all crazy, and you know, there's some people that are out there that just want to succeed, and some just do. And you know, we stay focused and stay positive here on Taking Them Connect TV. So let's move on forward. All right. In other celebrity news, Ivana Van Zant files a lawsuit against singer Tamar Braxton after Ivana was trying to help fix the Braxton life, including Tamar, and Tamar thought it was a witch hunt against her over something over a past that Tamar didn't want to disclose. Let's watch this and take us for yourself.
I hear you talking about problems with production and the network, but you chose this. I don't understand why that impacts your relationship with each other.
The show was completely different. Then it turned into a dramatic shenanigan example of the family.
If I say I felt like the grass was green yesterday. They turn it around, do another scene with somebody. Well, Tamar said that she felt that the grass was green. Tell me that the grass was not green. The grass was just purple yesterday. She must be crazy. And I'm talking about something else, completely different. That's what I mean.
I wish my sister could narrate without all the expressions.
Is that the person or is that the performance?
No, that's a person. That's from infancy.
How does it make you feel when you see that?
I feel disappointed that she has to be animated to express herself.
That's just who she is.
Yes.
From infancy.
Yes.
And that makes me feel
disappointed
in her big personality and who she's been all of her life.
That's not a nice thing to feel.
No, not at all.
Okay.
You got it?
Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tay.
That's okay.
Man, Ivana Van Zant just trying to help fix their life. Now look what Alana trying to do. She's trying to use it as a ploy to just get reality stars, such as the Braxtons. She done so with Love and Hip Hop. She done so with Loving, I don't know, anybody that's on Weed, anybody that's on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I remember when she did so with Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sheree and Bob Whitfield. And look what that turned out. It didn't work out in the beginning, but then when they got back on Real Housewives of Atlanta, everything came back together. So who knows? She probably can fix Kenya Moore's life if she don't have that much of a midlife crisis between her and her husband. All right. On talk shows this week, on the Wendy Williams show, Wendy Williams is calling out Kanye West. Kanye West is saying all these crazy and rad things about why people calling out his wife Kim Kardashian, about she's sleeping with Drake, she's sleeping with Nick Cannon, she even sleeping with Tyson Bedford. Tyson Bedford even made a comment that he said this. Yeah, Tyson Bedford didn't sleep with your wife. Now, I don't know this question for the other two, but hey, you know, let Wendy tell you. Watch this.
We all know you're not well, so just get better, but don't talk. Because when you talk, a lot of times you make no sense. So he went on this wild rant yesterday, slamming 3 celebrities who talked about his wife. Well, I don't know who he thinks he married. Hello? All right, you take a look and then we'll talk.
First of all, I want to address Nick Cannon. Like, I understand that you used to date my wife, but you know, you get in an interview, don't mention my wife. If someone brings my wife up, you say, hey, I respect that man, I'm not speaking on that. Don't be making no suggestions like nobody my wife. Now, the next thing is with Drake. The fact that it's people making rumors or thinking that you my wife and you're not saying nothing and you carrying it like that, that don't sit well with my spirit. Nick Cannon, Drake, Tyson Beckford, all that wasn't sitting right with me.
I have no idea where Tyson came out of. Until I remembered that a few weeks ago, Tyson went on a tear saying that he doesn't care about her body, it's not real. Like, he went on this whole plastic fake Kim thing. And
Like I said, Wendy Williams calling like she's seasoned. Kanye West is just crazy and delusional. Hey, the man even planning on moving back to Chicago. It's that rough for him going from LA to now going to Chicago. It's going to be rougher now that you're a target and everybody wants you. Everybody wants to see you, you know, not, you know, why you back in Chicago? Is everything don't seem too well? Thank you so well. All right. On the real this week, the women of the show talked about Diddy doing.
Earlier in the week, Diddy raised suspicion by posting mysterious black boxes on his Instagram labeled with names like Beyonce, Tiffany Haddish, and Oprah. And over the weekend, Diddy revealed that the boxes were for a Black 100 list of people who gave him inspiration. However, some of Diddy's choices raised a few eyebrows, like Anderson Cooper, Mark Wahlberg, and Khloe Kardashian. Even Amanda Seales, who made the list, tweeted, quote, "How you gonna make a list called the Black 100 and it has hella folks on it that ain't black?" Okay, so ladies, Amanda's a good friend of our show.
Amanda tells it like it is.
Yeah. So, ladies, do you agree with Diddy's choices?
I need an explanation for what exactly is he doing. You know
Me
what I mean?
too.
Because
mentioned
if you
that
just
they-
say a black list, does that mean black people, black excellence? Like, I'm trying to figure out
I think he's going to explain that. But it's more about culture, people that are influencing the
black
current culture and things
Okay.
like that. It may not necessarily be black.
Okay.
It could be something, you know, black list could be anything, like you're in the black, like you're in the red. So it doesn't necessarily mean color of people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I actually like it then if it's going to be a list of people who are woke or who help to move the movement that we need to have when it comes to equality. I like then that it's not all black people because it shouldn't be all black people. We all should be having this conversation. Why did we make the list?
That's the question. But I do love that. And you don't have to be black to support black causes and black people.
It's too much black talk right now for me. Can y'all just...
I need you to stop.
Well,
we asked what you think of Diddy's Black 100 list.
This Black 100s list, and Diddy named every black celebrity you can think of, from a list from Tiffany Haddish to Serena Williams to Gabriel Union, anybody that come. But he put some faces that is not black, but he has to clarify, and the hostess was kind of pondering what was that. Take a look.
Let me drink some tea on that one.
Wait, does anybody else want to know what's in the box? Like, I'm just curious.
I think it's
like little
awards.
tiny, they're shoe boxes. So I'm like, what's in it? Like, what is he giving these
what it
people?
is.
You
A
see?
plaque?
No, you know what's in those boxes.
No, what?
A bottle of Ciroc. That's what it is.
You think so?
Yes. Oh, that's that.
I see what the hostess are trying to do. Trying to put a wedge. Hey, if Diddy can elaborate a little bit more and say, hey, this is who's on the list. You know, if Kim Kardashian, if Khloe Kardashian, Anderson Cooper, Bradley Cooper on the list, well, hey, they must be considered some way in the black because they in the they want to be in the culture so bad. Cultural appropriation. That's what some people call it. I know people close to me loves to say that word. But hey, maybe he was just giving them a Black 100 list with a black box with a bottle of Ciroc in it. You never know, because look at that, look at this, the image. Could be that bottle of Ciroc. You know, they like to get a little tipsy. You never know what could be in that box. Alright. When we return, we'll have more takes. Stay tuned. This is The Take. always, Kenny Dixon. Glad you're here to join the conversation. Use the hashtag #TakeTwo. Hey, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe here on Connect TV. We're glad you're here to join us. Let's get back to the take. All right, Tuesday was National Voters Registration Day, and a lot of people are getting up to vote and trying to make sure that what happened 2 years ago wasn't a white lash that did occur. Well, one person who wants to prevent that from happening, and a person of vast majority interest, said this.
There's another election coming up on November 6th. That's right, it's almost here. And this election is your chance to hold your leaders accountable. It's how you make your voice heard on everything from your kids' education to the safety of your community. That's why it's so important to register right now and vote on November 6th and in every election.
Michelle Obama making her presence felt that she ain't finna let this happen again. What happened 2 years ago. She want to make sure these midterms go great and smoothly and be a commercial success. Michelle Obama putting all her resources together and saying, hey, we can prevent this from happening again, and maybe the next 2 years down the road we can prevent something that could have been erased 4 years ago not happen ever again to anybody. Like that, people didn't deserve that, but hey, you got to go do that to order to get better. And I think Michelle's trying to point that out to a lot of folks and stuff. Well, let's get to the political rundown. The political rundown this week. Man, oh man, President Donald Trump is feeling the heat and feeling the need to fire who he wants to fire. He desperately wants to get rid of U.S. Deputy General Rod Rosenstein after there was reports, according to the New York Times, that Rosenstein was jokingly wanting to find ways and find maneuvers to get Trump out of office by using the 25th Amendment to impeach the president if he did something erratic and remove him from office. Well, CNN and a lot of other news sources had a field day with this. Take a look.
Stein leaving the White House after what may have been a previously scheduled meeting. You're going to see he's behind the tree, but we're expecting him to walk out. Trust us, we're told that's him. Amid those reports that you know about already, that he may resign, could be fired. Now he will have a meeting with the president on Thursday at the White House. The president, as you know, is here in New York because of UN Week. And there, in fact, he is.
Let me just share with you a statement that just came from Sarah Sanders as this continues. The Rod Rosenstein story is not over. She says, at the request of Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, he and President Trump had an extended conversation to discuss the recent news stories. Because the president is at the United Nations General Assembly and has a full schedule with leaders from around the world, they will meet on Thursday when the president returns to Washington, D.C. From Sarah Sanders. So stay tuned, everybody.
You know, we heard he was going to get fired, then he wasn't fired. He went over there, he wasn't there, and the guy wasn't here. And then, so was this just smoke and mirrors? Or was it truly a diabolical plan?
It was just smoke and mirrors. And we all fell for it. Everybody was calling everybody. Everybody was looking at the news. Everybody was reading the breaking news alerts. Is he fired? Is he fired? And it was just to get everybody off of the Supreme Court, off of Kavanaugh for 3 hours.
Hey, the president is letting people get the best of him. He's trying his best. But even when he was at the United Nations this week, people took it upon themselves when the president was trying to make an important speech that he kind of felt some type of way. Take a look.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
A lot has changed in 12 months. Last year, he threatened to destroy the North Korean regime and taunted leader Kim Jong-un as Little Rocket Man.
The missiles and rockets are no longer flying in every direction. Nuclear testing has stopped.
Yes, the president is being made fun of because of what he thinks in his head that the United States is doing. Well, the U.S. is doing what they can do. and stuff like that. But many people in the world are laughing at him because they think this is really something that Trump really thinks he's being dead serious, and he don't take well with criticism. Look what he did with Rose O'Donnell. Yeah. Well, speaking of the president, his Supreme Court pick, Brett Kavanaugh, is continuing to fight his name after he wants to get that Senate confirmation hearing and go straight to the Supreme Court. But Kavanaugh made an impromptu appearance on Fox News to address the issues with the fact that he is not what people think he is. Take a look.
No, I'm telling the truth. I know my lifelong record, and I'm not going to let false accusations drive me out of this process.
Now, just say it like this: I am not. He was a virgin, and he didn't do nothing real strenuous. Well, man, like every dude, you gonna do what you want to do to fill your own need and fill your own ego. So, hey, live what you like. But then it come out new reports that he had a second accuser. So it's just things are unfolding and unraveling as we go. We don't know what Brett Kavanaugh's life. He could be living a double life. I don't know. This man, if we get to the Supreme Court, what is this man gonna do with the Me Too situation? He's gonna be living a double life with that and thinking, oh, I'm not gonna do. Hey, here's what it is. Here's what it is, man. All right. Speaking of that, England's favorite new princess, Meghan Markle, made her first public appearance since being married to Prince Harry at a charity event, and Meghan had to say this.
Monarchy. I had just recently moved to London, and I felt so immediately embraced by the women in the kitchen, your warmth and your kindness.
Meghan Markle, you know, she is the epitome of beauty, class, elegance. And Meghan Markle trying to make a point that she is not going to be she's going to be taken more serious than ever. So kudos to Meghan Markle. You know, Markle Sparkle. All right, on the reality show clip down this week on Married to Medicine, the women feel some type of way that Quad is not spending quality time with them no more, and she's spending more time with her new friends at Sister Circle. And you won't believe how the heat went. Take a look.
On a daily basis, I'm struggling to hold on to my happiness. And every day I gotta get up and I gotta be this person. I gotta be happy. Under the most harshest.
So why do you stay in a situation that's not good for you? Why?
Heavenly.
Because it don't make sense, Quad. If you're that unhappy, damn it, make yourself happy.
But you don't know what I'm doing. You're not allowing me to talk. What is happening with us? I just deal with shit on my own. It's not to shade anybody. It's not that I'm trying to push someone out of my life. So I don't know really how to go and lean on someone. I'm sorry for making y'all feel outcast from me. But I need to feel the love and need to feel that it is safe for me to openly talk to you all. That's it.
We love you, Quad. Whatever you decide is fine. I just don't like to see you hurting. That's all.
You can call me in my shit whenever you see it. I love you. But you cannot put us on a shelf and play with us on the days you choose to. I know that Quad is going through a tough time right now. But Quad, treat people exactly how you want to be treated.
I think that this is what sisterhood looks like.
It feels good.
We fall apart. I fight with your siblings, and you come back together.
I think in a sisterhood, in a friendship, you know what you need. And on the day you need that, you know who to call.
Absolutely. I love all of them, true tea. But it's gonna take some real time to be as close as we once were. Because all of this that's happening tonight, I mean, it done blew my wig back.
Miss Quad is kind of neglecting her friends. Miss Quad don't care. Miss Quad just feeling like she don't be loved and be all this. Hey, Miss Quad is just being Miss Quad. Miss Quad is kind of like going through something. She's going through a failed marriage. I might be going through a failed talk show, because Sister Circle is okay, but it's just the same repetitive stuff. And she might just don't know who she is and trying to see who am I. So, hey, she trying to pay the bills as she go, because look like old boys gonna cut her off completely. Alright, on Ball in the Family. Alright, Lamar Ball is promising, is starting this league that he has, JBA, and he's promising that whoever's the winning coach winning a Cadillac for the finals. Now, this is unprecedented. Well, the NBA don't even do this. Watch this. Look at this. Lamar is putting a lot at stake. You get something. You get a couple of money. You get fame. You get recognition. And you get a new car. Who want a free Cadillac? Come on now. That's a black person's fantasy. A black person's dream. Always want to be a free Cadillac. You tell any black person out there right now in them streets, hey man, you want to win a free Cadillac? Yeah. That's bragging rights right there. What I got to do to do it? What I got to do to win? Man, you're going to have to go through a serious, rigorous routine of challenges in order to get this back. Man, screw it. I just want the free Cadillac. I just want the free Cadillac. Alright. In news is this week. Alright. Now, men, you know that you want to take kids into school, and you ride in the school bus, and all of a sudden, your school bus driver is teaching your kids how to drive. You won't believe this story. Watch this.
Arrested 27-year-old Joandria McAtee last week in Porter County. Now, she's accused of letting the students ages 11, 13, and 17 take turns behind the wheel. Other children were allegedly on the bus and captured this video. McAtee is charged with felony neglect and was also fired from her job.
And you would want to say it's a Hallmark moment, but then again, it's not a Hallmark moment, because this is not driving school. This is really a bus driver teaching kids how to drive, and the lady got fired for it. Kudos to the school county system for firing this lady, because this lady is clearly out of her mind, or she really was trying to find a reason to get herself fired. She said, well, I'm tired. Hey lady, you driving a bunch of kids to school, that's all you gotta do. And then you get your lunch break and you can just do whatever you want to do. You ain't gotta teach these kids how to drive. When they get a little bit older and stuff, when they get like 15, 16, if you want to change courses, you could use your requirements. Hey, I want to teach kids how to use school. Then you would go to the Alabama, whatever state you're living in, Department of Transportation, say, hey, I want to teach kids how to drive. I want to be teaching these kids how to learn how to drive in courses. They would have gladly applied, but you had to go out there and just teach these kids how to drive a school bus and come in traffic and stuff like that. You don't know what these kids are going through, what they're trying to go and learn how to read and write and learn how to do math. Lady, you just ruined the experience. Really? What's wrong with you? And you can look at that mugshot and tell she ain't all there. She ain't all right in her mind. Got to be crazy. Dang. Finally, the viral video of the week. Alright, many of you know that when you're a caterer, you're trying to make some money for a wedding, for a couple that's like, hey, this is what we want, stuff like that. Well, when the wedding goes wrong, and you got to find and scramble and trying to find anything, take a look.
Andy and Kelsey Schneck's original officiant broke her ankle at the rehearsal dinner the night before. They were in a panic. They weren't sure what to do at that late hour, but they happened to mention it to their caterer who was delivering food at the time. So Manny Morales, who also happens to be an officiant, said, don't worry about it. With less than a day's notice, the catering managers stepped up and delivered their wedding.
I mean, he saved our big day. I mean, I would kind of describe him as almost the hero of the wedding, because without him, I don't know what the outcome would have been. So he saved our day kind of in every way possible.
And so cute the way he sort of gives him the high sign at the end there.
Yeah, he's like awfully proud of himself.
Exactly. Who can blame him? Andy, Kelsey, and Manny have all become good friends as a result of the ordeal. They say he's now like part of the family. What a great...
Can you believe it? They are, look, that tells you right there, the institution of marriage is good, grand, and great. You know, God anointed them, that caterer, and that caterer was anointed to become the officiant and officiate that wedding for them. And kudos for that couple, because that takes a lot. That takes a lot of courage, and that caterer takes a lot of courage for him to make food and pronounce them hood man and wife. That tells you a lot right there about people, everyday people. So, all right. Also, what about this? This is the takes question of the day. All right, take question of the day. Now, Warner Brothers has announced that LeBron James and his production company, that LeBron will officially star and produce Space Jam 2. And this is the classic from the 1996 film starring Michael Jordan, the greatest player ever lived. Basketball player, I meant to say. But also producing the film is Ryan Coogler. Many of you may know who Ryan Coogler is. If you know Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Michael Coogler, he's going to produce, help LeBron out, and kudos to Michael Coogler. But what did Warner Brothers Studios do to keep Michael Jordan happy? All right, the question is right over here. A, build him a basketball court. B, provide him steak, chicken, shrimp, catering. Clean his Air Jordans after every session. Or D, painted his green room red and black. Unless they want Carolina colors, white and light blue. But hey, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. This is the take. We told you what did Warner Bros. Do to make Michael Jordan happy during the filming of Space Jam? Was it A, build him a basketball court, B, provide him steak, chicken, shrimp, catering, clean his Air Jordans every season, and or D, paint his green room red and black? The answer was A, and build him a basketball court. At that time, Jordan was prepping himself, making a comeback, and Jordan did to keep himself from not being rust. So, that does it for the take this week. I've been your host, Kitchen Dick, saying so long. We'll see you next time here on the tape.